THCA isn't real za, it's fake za. Is what an absolute fucking idiot would say. How long is this about to take for us to all understand this? When you add heat to THCA, it turns into what we think regular za is. Stop being ignorant. Educate yourselves, bro. This is crazy.
Okay, so I have to clarify. Raw THCA is non-psychoactive. Raw THCA. So if the edible is labeled as containing raw THCA, then no, it's not going to get you high like you think. It might have some therapeutic properties, kind of similar to CBD, but no, it's not going to get you high. Otherwise, the THCA is added either in the fat or oil, like with butter, or it's added like just straight up in the actual baking process. Either way, though, if you're adding it directly into the baking or if you're putting it in the oil or the fats, at some point in that process, it's then going to be heated. So then once it's heated, all of the THCA inside of the product turns to THC. So again, if it says on the product raw THCA, meaning it hasn't been met with carbon dioxide or whatever, it hasn't been heated, then no, it's not going to be psychoactive. It's not going to get you high. But if it has THCA and it's supposed to be psychoactive, then that means that the THCA was either added in the butter, it could have been added in the oil, or it could have been put directly into the pastry and just baked right along in it. Either way, in either of those processes, at some point, it's going to be met with fire, or it's going to be met with just heat. And that heat is going to make it psychoactive. It's going to turn it into THC.
Hi, my name's Kyla. I'm a legal medical cannabis patient here in Oz, and I'm also a canna educator, and this is Canna Curious. Now today, we're going to talk about THCA, which is tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. THCA is found in raw and live plants. THCA is the acidic form of THC. When the plant is decarboxylated, it loses a carboxyl, which turns it into THC and becomes intoxicating. Decarboxylation happens naturally over time, but it also happens when you add heat to the plant, so vaping, smoking, or baking. THCA is thought to have many medical benefits. However, of course, the research is still early. Some of the potential benefits, however, are that it's an anti-nausea, anti-emetic, anti-cancer, neuroprotective, and it's anti-proliferative. Anti-proliferative means that it inhibits cancer cell growth. Unlike THC, THCA will not make you high. So I guess you're wondering, how do you consume THCA? The best form of THCA is to have a fresh plant. So those of you in Canberra, you can do this. Take the leaves off the plant and juice them. This will give you the most abundant form of THCA and absolutely fantastic for cancer patients, particularly if you're going through other treatments, because it really does reduce nausea. Since decarboxylation destroys THCA, if you're going to cook with it or you're going to vape it, you will automatically lose that magical compound. So the raw form of cannabis, if you can find yourself a raw oil that has not been heat treated, or you can have access to the plant if you're perhaps in Canberra or you're in a country where it is allowed, juice the plant. So that is THCA for you. I hope you've learned something. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments or send me a DM. Have an amazing day.
THCA is not going to be legal in 2025. I don't want to believe it, but it's true. The DEA is coming after THCA. 4 days ago, they just said that THCA does not meet the definition of legal hemp. Damn it, thought we had the perfect loophole there for a second. They're cracking down on this stuff, guys. They're saying no more. They're saying that it violates the 2018 Farm Bill, which is pretty much the bill that sets all the laws around marijuana. So the DEA said no way. And they're just going to revote on the bill in 2025. So they're definitely taking away THCA from us. This is really unfortunate because people that don't live in cannabis legal states are the people that are going to suffer. This is our saving grace. I'm not joking. THCA, that stuff is legit. It's my medicine. We're going to be forced to go back in. We're going to be forced to go back to the streets, back to the black market. Thanks, America. But either way, guys, you only have until the end of this year and maybe a little bit of 2025 to get your THCA. Other than that, they're coming after it. They're coming after it hard. This stuff hasn't even been around that long. Okay, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and I'll catch you next one.
Guys, THCA is bunk, genetically modified, altered. organisms you don't want to put in your body. Fungicides, pesticides, herbicides. These things convert to cyanide. These things will put you down, and they'll put you down for good. You'll be in the hospital, laid up in a hospital bed, not being able to pay your bills or work. Is that what you guys want? Put the THCA down. It's going to ruin your life. It's going to ruin your mind. You see the mental instability it causes in people. THCA creator after THCA creator is dropping like a fly. Guys, put this stuff down. It's going to damage your brain. You're going to see more THCA creators go into the mental institution. I can guarantee that. Put this stuff down, guys.
THCA is not hemp, it never has been, and it never will be. The issue is with everyone selling flower, especially in places like the South, where this plant has been criminalized for so long, is that the moment that any product is on a shelf, even if it's on a fucking gas station shelf, consumers find that to be a credible product. What? Oh my God. And I think an issue I have is because I've been working in the legal cannabis space since 2015. I've seen everything that can go wrong with the plant. It's like growing any other plant, okay? Things happen to this plant. On top of that, when you're in states that are heavily regulated, there are things you can and can't do. When you're in states that are not at all regulated, people will do whatever they can just to turn that profit. Okay. Oh my Lord. And here's the thing. Is like hemp has been a phenomenal addition to the U.S. infrastructure, especially in the terms of like regulation and everything, but it has caused like this loophole that is not actually really a loophole is so detrimental for the people who are not playing loophole games. That's all. Actually, that is not all. I think that beverages are an awesome addition to the hemp space. I think that the flower, like I've always been fucking saying, has never been hemp. 34% THCA flower is just like 28% THC. Like, it's just regular weed, okay? And I guess people know that by now, and that's why they're buying it, and that's why they're selling it, but it's not healthy for you if you cannot verify, like, I don't know, just like the validity and health of like these places that are packaging up your consumer good. Ugh.
This is one of the biggest myths in the game right now. THCA flower's not real. There's no such thing. It's all THCA flower. Whether you get it at a dispensary or you order it online, labs do this intentionally. When they test the flower, it's almost all really, really high in THCA. They have a little conversion, it's a little math calculation, they multiply by 0.877, and you get this number where they can predict what the THC percentage would be once it's decarboxylated, meaning once it's been hit by heat. Therefore, all the flower you're getting in your dispo, mostly THCA flower. If you're ordering it from someplace in the middle of nowhere that's claiming to be able to send it to you, it's the same thing. Nobody wants to acknowledge this because labs that are testing for just THCA, that's for people who want to sell it and try and distribute it across state lines and call it hemp. The dispensaries, they want the opposite, right? They don't want the big THCA number, so they want it converted to potential THC so that they can have a really big number there. So everybody's sort of bullshitting at the same time, but at the end of the day, this distinction between THCA flower and what you get at your shop is a waste of time.